DSR Performance today, and we're going to be running through an installation of our 200 cell stainless steel high flow down pipes on this next gen range of Raptor. We're fitting a host of other gears, but today this video will be focused on the installation process of the down pipes. So for starters, we normally put the car up on the lift and gain access to the inner wheel well. So simply remove the wheel, and then you've got to pop out a host of clips, and there's a couple of nuts that also need to be removed. But then the inner well just pops straight out and you'll gain pretty clear access into the area where the downpipe is. So we'll just show you that now with that all removed. Obviously you've got the wheel off and the inner guard is now out. You do need to do this on both sides. But yeah, as you can see, now you get straight in, super easy access straight into the downpipe area. So once you're in here, there's two 15mm nuts that you can get pretty easily. We always recommend using some anti-seize, like WD-40, something like that, to try and get the nuts out. And don't forget to take the O2 sensors out while you're there. On this side of the car, you can gain access to the secondary one from the underside. On this side of the car, you can get both sensors while you're at the top of the car. So again, you've got two 15mm nuts that you need to remove, and the first O2 sensor and the secondary O2 sensor can be done both from the top of the vehicle. On this side of the car, you can gain access from the engine bay for the top O2 sensor using an O2 socket or crow's foot, which sometimes can make it easier to access. So move into the underside of the car, we then jump onto this odd clamp, just undo the nut, and then we'll use some spreaders to get the clamp apart. And then you can get the secondary O2 sensor from the underside of the car just with a spanner. You don't actually have to unplug the O2 sensors, they can stay plugged into the car, but yeah, definitely need to be removed from the cats before you actually try and remove them from the vehicle. Moving over to the right hand side of the vehicle, you've obviously already done the two O2 sensors. You've just got two nuts on the 2-bolt flange, and then this cat is ready to be slid straight out. Pretty straightforward removal on that side. Here we are, just showing you the pliers that we use to pry that clamp apart. Can be a little bit fiddly, but you'll figure it out eventually. It does have a gasket on the inside as well that you need to remove. And then once that comes off, the left-hand side downpipe can also be removed from the vehicle. So you can see we just push that actually up, and then you can wiggle it out to gain access, and you don't have to remove any of the cross members or anything like that, and that just slides straight out. So you can now see straight up to the back of the turbocharger. We do have a gasket that quite often will fall out. Make sure you don't forget to put that gasket back in, both on the passenger and driver side of the vehicle. So you can see here just the odd style of that downpipe, and then this side just has a simple 2-bolt flange. Both sides are on gaskets, and obviously gaskets up on the turbocharger. So that's the gasket that falls out, that you definitely don't want to lose. If you don't have that in, the downpipes will have a wicked leak. There's a 2-bolt gasket. Make sure these are in good condition before you reinstall on the vehicle, and then it's pretty well ready to install the new downpipes. As you can see here, a quick comparison of our downpipes versus the factory setup. Ours are full stainless 200 cell cats. Easy direct bolt-on fit up, very high quality, food grade stainless. So yeah, really nice upgrade. Better reliability, as the factory cats definitely start to fail with not that many Ks. And guys, with pops and bangs, we definitely recommend using a set of high flow downpipes. That's the gasket for the odd flange. Make sure that goes back in. You might need to straighten up a few of the odd tangs to get it all reassembled. With the downpipes now up into position, they just get sat in very loosely. Only sit the nuts on and leave the downpipe completely loose. We want to make sure everything's aligned before you actually start tightening anything up. Same with the passenger side. So just sit the two 15mm nuts on and leave everything really loose. This then makes the underside very straightforward and easy to align. On the underside, make sure you fit that gasket back in, and then we just use the spreaders to get that clamp back on. It can be a little bit fiddly, but you can definitely get it back on. It can all be reused. So you'll do that up semi-tight, and then you'll jump back up to the top and actually do the nuts onto the turbocharger tight, and nip all of that up tight, and then jump back down to the underside, put the two 15mm nuts on tight, O2 sensor in, and make sure you don't damage the O2 sensor, twist the wires around too much or anything like that. Again, on the right hand side, bang the top O2 sensor in, the two 15mm nuts. You will have already put the bolts in the underside with the 2-bolt gasket and nipped all that up as well. So that's all pretty well buttoned up. You can then reinstall the inner guard. Don't forget to put the nuts on and all the push clips, and then bang the wheels on, and you are pretty well good to go. Just a quick tip, sometimes we do have to swap the secondary O2 sensors from the passenger side to the driver's side. Just the wiring looms sometimes swapped in a short and long version, so they always fit but just need to be swapped at times. Make sure you run over all of your nuts and bolts, make sure everything's tight, and yeah, pretty well super easy installation, under 2 hours, can be done on the ground. Always recommend tuning along with any mechanical upgrades, but not absolutely necessary, and ready to hit the dyno.